My golden child brother fired me from the family business the day after my father's funeral, thinking he was going to become a millionaire, but he ended up bankrupting the legacy in less than 3 months. Listen closely, because this is exactly how you destroy an entitled sibling who has never worked a day in his life. My father started a construction supply company 30 years ago, and I was the one who helped him build it from the ground up. I started driving trucks when I was 18. Then I moved to sales, and eventually I became the operations manager running the entire day-to-day business. Meanwhile, my younger brother Tyler was the favorite son who spent his 20s partying in Miami on dad's credit card and failing out of 3 different colleges. My father always had a soft spot for him, saying Tyler just needs to find himself. But I knew Tyler was just lazy. When my father passed away suddenly from a heart attack, it devastated me. But Tyler didn't shed a single tear at the funeral. He was too busy talking to the lawyers about how soon he could get access to the bank accounts. The day after the burial, Tyler called me into dad's office. He was sitting in dad's chair with his feet up on the desk wearing a suit that cost more than my car. He looked at me with a smug grin and told me that since he was the sole beneficiary of the estate, according to an old will dad never updated, he was now the owner and CEO of the company. I expected him to let me keep running things while he collected the checks, but instead he handed me a termination letter. He said, "Look bro, I want to take the company in a new modern direction and you are just too old school. Plus I need your salary to hire my fraternity brothers as consultants, so pack your stuff and get out." I was stunned. I tried to tell him that I knew every client personally and that the suppliers only trusted me, but he just laughed and said, "I don't need you. I own the brand. Get out before I call security." I walked out of that office without saying another word. I didn't fight. I didn't beg. I just went to my desk, grabbed my personal Rolodex, which contained the direct phone numbers of every single contractor and builder in the state, and I left. I went home and spent the next week setting up a new LLC. In my basement, I called it Legacy Supply, and I started making phone calls. This is where Tyler made his fatal mistake. He thought the clients were loyal to the company logo, but in this industry, clients are loyal to the person who gets the job done. I called our biggest client, let's call him Mr. Stevens, and told him I had started my own firm. Mr. Stevens laughed and said, "Thank God, because Tyler tried to double my prices yesterday to pay for a new Porsche. I'm moving all my contracts to you, effective immediately." It was a domino effect. Within 2 weeks, I had poached 80% of the company's client base. Because everyone hated dealing with Tyler and his arrogant friends, Tyler didn't even notice at first because he was too busy renovating the office and buying company cars. But when the monthly revenue report came in, he started panicking. He called me screaming, demanding to know why no one was ordering supplies. I calmly told him that it's a free market. Tyler and people prefer doing business with professionals, not partiers. He threatened to sue me for stealing clients, but I reminded him that since he fired me without a severance package and I never signed a non-compete agreement, I was free to do whatever I wanted. Things got worse for him quickly. Without the cash flow from the big clients, he couldn't pay the suppliers, so the suppliers cut him off completely, stopping all deliveries. Meanwhile, I was fulfilling orders using new suppliers who were happy to work out with me because I actually paid my bills on time. 3 months later, the inevitable happened. Tyler couldn't make payroll. His frat boy consultants quit the moment the checks bounced and the bank moved to foreclose on the company warehouse because Tyler had missed 3 mortgage payments. Tyler called me, crying, begging me to buy the company from him. To save the family name, he wanted $2 million for it. I laughed and offered him $50,000 strictly for the inventory and the warehouse lease. He screamed and slammed the phone down, but a week later, when the bank seizure notice was posted on the door, he called back and accepted the $50,000. I signed the papers, took back my father's office, and the first thing I did was fire Tyler again, this time for trespassing on my property. He's now working as a bartender at a dive bar, telling anyone who will listen how his evil brother stole his inheritance while I'm running the biggest supply company in the state, sitting in the chair. I earned moral of the story, never fire the only person who actually knows how to do the job, especially if they have the client's phone numbers in their pocket.